unlocking your financial potential. It's not about what you do, but how you vibrate. You might be broke, dead broke, yet stand on the precipice of unimaginable wealth. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you the riches you crave already exist, swirling around you right now? The only thing stopping you is your vibrational alignment. That dream house, those exotic trips, the freedom, the peace. It's all real, already manifested. The catch? Your energy needs to be in sync with it. This isn't some fluffy self-help philosophy, it's pure physics. Think about it. The prosperity you seek might be constantly present, waiting for you to plug into it. Before you dismiss this as illogical, consider how many times you've busted your hump, saved every penny, sacrificed every indulgence, meticulously budgeted, only to still feel financially strapped. People get stuck in this vicious cycle of disappointment. They work their tails off, scrimp and save, forgo pleasures and micromanage every dollar, yet scarcity persists. Why? It's not your actions, it's your frequency. Everything in the universe vibrates at a specific frequency, not mysticism, but proven science. Money has its own unique frequency. The secret nobody told you? To attract what you want, you have to match it. You need to vibrate as if you already possess it. Most people do the opposite. Fear, uncertainty, doubt, guilt. These emotions trap you in a low-frequency zone where prosperity simply can't flow. Get this. The universe never denied you anything. You were just out of tune with your desires. How many times have you woken up stressing about debt? How often have you uttered, "That's too expensive," or "I'll never get ahead"? These aren't fleeting thoughts. They shape your vibration. They're constant commands reinforcing your current reality. I know this firsthand. As a Toronto firefighter, I was financially drowning. Low pay, massive debt, no escape in sight, no qualifications, no plan, just fear and frustration. Then, a man named Ray Stanford gave me a book, Think and Grow Rich. Something shifted. Not externally, but vibrationally. My thinking changed. Instead of lamenting my lack of funds, I visualized having them. I walked, talked, and thought like a prosperous person, even though I was penniless. I pictured myself as an entrepreneur, even without a business. And guess what? Opportunities materialized. My first cleaning gig, $15 a month. 15, barely covered rent. Yet, I treated it like $1 million contract. Within a few years, my business was generating over $100,000 annually. Eventually, I earned over $1 million a year. No stellar resume, no influential connections, just a frequency aligned with my desires. Ever notice how some less educated, less talented, or less hardworking people achieve extraordinary results, while others, seemingly doing everything right, remain stuck? It's frequency. If you vibrate scarcity, you might get a windfall, but you'll find a way to lose it. A promotion, you'll self-sabotage. Start a business. Give up at the first hurdle. Your vibration will pull you back to your comfort level. You need to break free. Reprogram your frequency. It's not a switch you flip. It's a process. But it begins with self-awareness. It starts when you stop saying, "I can't," and start imagining what would happen if you could. Replace "it's impossible" with "how can I make this possible?" Allow yourself to believe, even for a moment, that something bigger awaits, that it already exists, patiently waiting for your alignment. Ask yourself, what would my life look like if wealth flowed effortlessly? Close your eyes, feel it, visualize it. Most importantly, act as if it's already true. You don't need proof to start, you need decision. It's the vibration of decision that attracts the proof. The universe responds to those brave enough to live now what hasn't yet physically manifested. Vibrate prosperity today, even if you're broke. You've already changed everything. Your internal shift alters your external world. You can do everything right and still stay stuck. Read the right books, watch the right videos, repeat affirmations, set goals, yet feel blocked like the brakes are slammed on. Here's why. You're trapped by a paradigm. A paradigm is a subconscious belief system shaping your actions, reactions, feelings, and thoughts unconsciously. It's autopilot dictating your life's course, even if you consciously want a different path. Ever notice how people repeat patterns, job changes, city changes, relationship changes, yet the core remains the same? Same anxiety, same lack of money, same emotional weight? That's because their governing structure remains unchanged. The paradigm. Breaking free isn't easy. Paradigms are sneaky. They masquerade as common sense, whispering that you need to be realistic, not take risks. Keep your feet on the ground. They hide in phrases like, "I wasn't born for this," "money doesn't buy happiness," "better to secure the little you have than risk losing it all." This paradigm formed before your birth. Genetics, upbringing, environment, childhood phrases, absorbed parental fears, experiences reinforcing a limited view of life. It silently influences every decision. I remember a turning point after starting my business. I was thriving, yet a voice said, "This is too good to be true." I'd subconsciously wait for things to fall apart, sabotaging myself. I lost a major contract due to hesitation, a lack of confident positioning. I was furious, but now I understand. It wasn't incompetence. It was my paradigm pulling me back to the scarcity comfort zone. How many times have you sabotaged an opportunity? Postponed a dream, feeling unprepared, compared yourself to others, deciding you're not like that? That's your paradigm. The key: transform your life by changing your paradigm. It's not about learning something new, it's unlearning the old, reprogramming your results, determining software. But it will resist. It'll inject doubts, make you feel tired, create distractions. It wants to keep things as they are. It believes it's protecting you, keeping you alive, but not letting you truly live. That feeling of being on the verge of greatness, then suddenly paralyzed by insecurity. That invisible force saying, "Hey, better stop here," that's your paradigm activating whenever you push your mental comfort zone. The solution? Conscious action. Interrupt the pattern. When doubt, resistance, or fear arises, stop, breathe, and ask, "Is this true? Or is it my old paradigm keeping me limited?" Awareness is key. Observing your thoughts makes you the master, not the captive. For 3 days, carry a notebook. Note every objection, limiting phrase, or self-sabotaging feeling. Observe and record afterward. Reread it all. You'll realize many voices aren't yours, echoes of the past repeated by an outdated program. A Duke University study found over 40% of our daily actions are unconscious habits. Nearly half of what you do, feel, or decide is guided by an automatic program, your paradigm. The good news? Paradigms aren't destiny. They can be rewritten. It takes unwavering will, conscious decision, and daily repetition. The outer world changes when you alter the inner root. Switching jobs, cities, or partners won't help if your paradigm remains. It'll recreate the same experiences differently until you confront it. Want more prosperity, freedom, fulfillment? Start with the invisible, your mind, your internal landscape, even when you're not paying attention. Don't fear examination. Identifying this invisible enemy empowers you to choose a new path. Change your paradigm, and prosperity, opportunities, and the life you desire will follow your new plan. You don't chase money. You realize your mind already possesses what it takes to attract it. Most people are conditioned to seek externally what can only be built internally. They exhaust themselves working, jumping between strategies, frustrated by lack of results, because they try to change the effect without altering the cause. The cause resides in the mind. You possess extraordinary power, superior mental abilities that, when developed, put you in complete control. Perception, imagination, will, intuition, memory, and reason, tools differentiating you from other beings. Yet few use them consciously. Most don't even know they exist. Perception, the ability to view situations from different perspectives. Most people see a problem and say, impossible. But what if you shifted your viewpoint? How would a billionaire see this, someone who overcame it? Altering perception alters vibration, unlocking new solutions. I learned this from Earl Nightingale. Write the problem in the center of a paper, place it on the table, sit on one side, observe. Then move to the other side and observe again. Imagine you're viewing it through the eyes of Edison, Ford, Einstein. How would they solve this? Simple, yes. Transformative, absolutely. Imagination, it's not fantasy, it's your mind's laboratory. Everything physical was created twice, first in someone's mind, then in reality. Planes, cell phones, the internet, all started as ideas, someone imagining the unimaginable. But most use imagination against themselves, anticipating tragedy, reinforcing fears. Misused, it imprisons. Well used, it liberates. Imagine in detail, wealth flowing effortlessly. See yourself in your dream home, breathing deeply, smelling the new wood, sunlight streaming through the window. Imagine waking without an alarm, traveling at will, helping loved ones. If you haven't, start today. What you vividly imagine, you can materialize. Willpower, the ability to maintain focus. Most start strong, then quit at the first hurdle. Those mastering willpower remain firm, even when everything seems to crumble. It's the ability to hold a vivid mental image, even without physical results. A simple exercise. Light a candle and focus on the flame. It trains your mind to stay focused. Initially, distractions will come quickly. With practice, you'll master your attention. Controlling focus directs energy powerfully. Combine focus with imagination and you create. You become a manifestation channel, aligning thought, feeling, and action. This alignment unlocks prosperity and abundance. Intuition, that subtle voice saying, "Call so-and-so now," and they were thinking of you, or that feeling to take another route, avoiding an accident. Intuition guides financial, professional, and personal decisions precisely, if you listen. I've passed on lucrative deals because something felt off, later discovering traps. I've also made seemingly crazy partnerships that became life-changing successes. What guided those choices? Intuition. You can develop it too, but silence the external noise and listen to your inner world. Memory and reason complete this set. Memory isn't just about the past. It's about remembering who you want to be. Reason is your ability to think, question, and evaluate, guided by vision, not fear. Our education system failed us. We memorized formulas, rules, river names, but nobody taught us to think independently, to use our minds creatively. We grew dependent on external stimuli, waiting for instructions, forgetting the universe within our heads. You don't need another course. Use what you already have. Your mind is the portal. Everything starts there. The money flow, life changes, profound transformation. It begins with a mental image, sustained by emotion and guided by intention. You are the cause, the rest is effect. Consciously using your mental abilities has no limits. The external world reflects your internal state. When you change how you think, feel, and imagine, the universe reorganizes to reflect the new you. You don't need to know how, just decide. This is one of the biggest secrets I learned. It transformed my life. People believe decisions come after clear steps, risk-free paths, money, support, guarantees. That's an illusion. The path appears after the decision. How many times have you avoided a step because you didn't know what came next? Hesitated on a dream because you didn't know how to execute it? Doubt paralyzes. It exists because you're controlling the how instead of defining the what. Decide what you want with such clarity and conviction that the universe is forced to show you the how. I remember expanding my business internationally. I didn't speak the language, knew nobody, lacked funds, and didn't understand the market. All signs said no. Yet something urged me to decide first. The path will open. It did. Contacts, opportunities, ideas, strategies appeared, unavailable if I'd waited for the perfect plan. Steve Jobs said it perfectly. You can't connect the dots looking forward, only looking back. When you take a big step, you rarely know how it will unfold. But looking back after deciding and acting, everything connects. The right encounters, detours, failures teaching vital lessons. It all connects after you had the courage to say, this is what I want and I'm going for it. Most people live in a cycle of postponement. When I have money, I'll decide. When everything's secure, then I'll change. Life doesn't work that way. Decision is the seed initiating change. No decision, no movement, nothing changes. Neville Goddard said, the moment your belief aligns with the desired state, you merge with it. What you desire already exists. Live as if it's real. Act, speak, think, choose, as if you've already achieved it. When your vibration matches the frequency of your desires, it has to come to you. Many fail. They wait to feel ready before deciding. Readiness comes after the decision. It initiates the frequency shift, like changing radio stations. The song you want is already playing. You just need to turn the dial and tune in. Decision is that dial. It connects you to your desired reality. After a true decision, there are no more ifs, only whens. Your mind adopts a new pattern. Your body acts differently. Your words and choices change. The world responds to your new frequency. Deciding takes courage. You'll face resistance. Your inner critic, that nagging voice of doubt, is just the echo of your old self, clinging to the comfort zone. But comfort isn't safety. The riskiest place for your soul is where nothing grows. Deciding isn't a one-time thing. It's a relentless commitment to the life you envision. It's a daily reaffirmation, a persistent choice until it becomes your reality. I remember a mentor, Earl Nightingale, who kept a book open to the same page. When asked why, he said, I stayed here until I lived what was written. That hit me hard. Genuine decisions aren't just mental, they're experiential. You don't just turn the page of your life, you embody the new truth in your actions, attitudes, and energy. So many accumulate knowledge but never advance, because knowing without deciding changes nothing. A firm decision, even with limited information, moves mountains. Define where you want to live emotionally, energetically, and spiritually. That's the blueprint for your new reality. The amazing thing is, when you commit wholeheartedly, the universe conspires. Doors open, the right people appear, opportunities emerge, and looking back, it all makes perfect sense. What seemed like a leap of faith becomes the only path to your dream. The real question isn't how will I do it, but will I decide? Because when you decide, everything shifts. The impossible becomes the next step. Why do people crave wealth but rarely achieve true abundance? They try to change outcomes without changing themselves. They want more, prosperity, freedom, but keep acting the same way. It's like updating a system with outdated software. It doesn't work. A new reality requires a new identity, starting in the invisible realm, consciously choosing to be the person who lives the life you desire. It's not about faking it. It's about embodying it, breathing it, becoming it, before any evidence arrives. That's where many fail. When I have money, I'll act wealthy, but it's the reverse. Acting wealthy attracts wealth. I've experienced this firsthand. When I was broke, I made decisions like a wealthy man, not out of arrogance, but clarity. Upright posture, confident speech, studying like I led a global team. This, more than any technique, changed my life. Neuroscience confirms this. The brain doesn't differentiate between intense imagination and reality. Visualizing with emotion, acting with purpose, and maintaining that internal state reprogram your brain for the new reality, paving the neural pathways for transformation. This requires letting go of your old identity, which hurts because it holds your stories. A difficult childhood, perceived lack of talent, bad luck. These are emotional anchors to an outdated version of yourself. Accept your past, but don't use it as an excuse for your future. Need a practical tip? Make a decision your future self would make. Turn down a soul-crushing, underpaid job. Invest in something that expands your vision even if you're scared. Wake up earlier and nourish your body. The size of the action matters less than its alignment with your desired identity. Break the cycle. Disconnect from the old frequency of scarcity, doubt, and mediocrity. You'll vibrate on a new frequency, and the world responds differently. New people arrive, opportunities unfold, and you experience a synchronicity that once felt like luck, but is actually your identity aligning with your intention. Notice how some bounce back from loss quickly, while others lose gains just as fast. The outcome isn't determined by what you have, but who you are. Identity is the magnet, the energetic mold that shapes your reality. Choose today to act as if you already live the life you want, and maintain that state, even without understanding, even in the same circumstances. The transformation within is what matters. Your richer, more confident, more conscious self is within you, waiting for you to say, "I choose to be this now." Decide to live like that person before the external validation arrives, and the world will validate you. It's not about knowledge or possessions, but the frequency you broadcast that determines your reality. Shifting that frequency doesn't require every step, just the unwavering decision to be different, bigger, aligned with your desires. A next step awaits. A video awaits on the screen beside this text to further enhance your wisdom, to help you become a little better. I know you want it. I believe in you. Thank you for this journey. I'll see you in the next video.